yes, now indeed, that seminole wind blows across your heart. Ooh, babies, you're taking the steps you never would have taken before as you step out that door and leave it all behind. Not even thinking about it, man. Whatever's with you is with you now, babies. You got it all. When you got nothing, you got everything. And here you go, down the sidewalk for a little stroll. Maybe check out the hood, see what's going on here. You hardly know anybody, and you've lived here 15 years. Well, darling, now it's starting to come clear as you take this simple little stroll, get your little feet to walking, don't you know. Fall in the flow of that heart, baby, you know, and no more will you take guff from anything else in this reality. You're not laying down and rolling over anymore. You done way too much of that in the past. Now you got up off your ass, through the TV, through the glass of the window, man, and just kicked it on down the stairs. To hell with you. I'm done with that too, man. No more programming in that sort of way. Anyway, no more spying on me day after day. Well, that must be boring as hell, man. Yawn, yawn, yawn. My TV might be two-way, but you're the poor sucker who has to watch it, okay? Well, now we put it away forever and a day. We just clicked it off, really. We imagined the rest of it because, well, we know it'll just rust away. It won't last long, you know. The water's coming up pretty strong anyway, man. Might even flood it out today. Who cares, man? We're walking away from there and the whole life and everything that it represents, and we're doing it what? In kind of a mystical sort of way. You notice your feet are much lighter today? And as you take this little stroll and start to get on the road, a whole bunch of others stepping out the door too and flowing along with you, baby. It's a feeling, it's a wave, it's a momentum, all its own. Giving of the heart, you can tell, but other than that, wow. Stepping right out of hell. And where are we heading? Man, well, the place is really nice. Don't think twice. It's paradise, of course. This ain't no march on Washington. Washington is a weight a ton for way too long. We just let it sink under the water, and we'll just ignore that place. We're going to where our heart says to go, and we're taking them all with us, don't you know? See how light your steps are getting now? Seems like you just stepped over a house or two. Maybe you're flying, I don't know, but maybe you're catching some kind of float. Feels like you're flying and floating, huh? Just walking there along that Mother Earth every step. As you get outside the city line and start rolling through the countryside, strolling through that countryside, babies, everything's just fine. And the birds and the bees and the lovers in the trees and everything else that bees goes right along with you, don't you see? The flow of harmony has begun. We're the reformers, babies. We're the one that everybody's been waiting for. Well, babies, all we had to do was step out the door, say enough, no more. Ain't doing that. Now we're doing this, babies. Reforming it all. In our cosmic heart, in our cosmic way, as a united force, day after day, taking these steps together. The feeling, the flow brings them out that door again and again. And pretty soon there is a large crowd of uncontested people, and all sorts are joining in, man. Police persons, soldiers, you know, militaristic generals and stuff like that. But they're leaving the uniforms behind and all the medals to go with them. And they're coming naked and sublime. Well, we'll let them wear a little bit of thread because you don't want to get them out in cold or overheated or nothing, you know, or get them all sunburned too, you know. We don't want anybody feeling blue. We just want them walking along, flying along with the likes of you. And guess what we do? We go to a place unknown, except by this very heart of ours that knows its exact location. We walk all the way there from wherever we start out. Whether it's here, there, wherever it is, that's ground zero, babies. And that's where we're going, and that's just all right. The flow, like the trickle of blood through the veins, it comes from all sort of places all across the land. One or two people take a step out the door, and then there's a whole bunch more, drawn by the pure magic of love, loving life, living life, life that is feelable, knowable, livable in that psychic sort of way. Hell, it's way beyond anything you ever knew of as psychic. Shit. We're so connected today, we cannot help but flow. And our encampments in the evening, when we slow down and settle down and cook up some grub and, party down by the fireplace, man, will be just the place to be. 'Cause you can't find a more expansive love than that, don't you see? They'll be dreaming and drumming and dancing and strumming and babies' hearts that meet and get it clear in an instant, dear. No more of this ponying around with what's hanging around. No, 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 no. We go with the flow. It's magic, don't you know? Pure and simple. And all these beings from all these directions, human beings I might add, flowing in that flow like the veins of blood going down your muscles, don't you know? It is all gathering together, more together, more together. The stream, the river of life, a great big dream taking its flow. And we know where it's going to go. And it only takes a few days to get there, even though it should probably take 120, and that's a plenty. But it's just a few days, a few moments, a few steps. A few little nighttime layovers that are so magnificent. That's the whole point of the journey. It's almost anticlimactic to get to where we're going. But there we are. It's the center of the blossom of life. The place where creation begins. The place where the heart is nurtured. Not just by the sun, but by the warmth of the Mother One. And the Father inside her too, the direct love, the sunlight. It makes it all so bright. And we'll get it crystalline clear, dear, because we're going there to remember, dear, as a unit, as a whole person, given in millions and billions of different forms, gathering around this place, this little monument to life. And what does arise before us but our living, loving truth, manifest from gigantic crystal, kind of spins in the atmosphere. Just above the ground, dear. And everyone gets the flow of that, don't you know? Everyone starts to see it real personal, too. Not only the larger history we've lived, but the individual person within it, that we have been many times over again and again. Well, a lot of us, some of us just a few, but most of us are work champs, don't you know? Put it in overtime all the time, man, when it comes to living lives in the sublime, supreme third density, don't you see? Because it's such an honor to serve in this way, to be dumbed down to where you don't even know you have a heart, and then to see it finally come out to play, to let its power just overtake you, because it has already anyway, because that is you, so it can't overtake you. It is what you really are, and that's what you're stepping into, a gigantic, heaping moment of revelation of truth. And then you remember who you are as a person in this reality, and everybody else waking up right alongside of you, a huge circle of people around this divine instrumentation of life, this grand crystal that's recorded every moment that's ever lived anywhere, but especially here. The truth, baby, it can no longer be hidden. And realize then in that light, as it reveals itself to you, the pure innocence of love that we are made of. Then rock and roll makes sense to you, baby. So does everything else in this medicine flow we call life. It's learning and growing, loving and glowing, going to the dumbest places to see the brightest faces, to bring forward the most exciting moments there could ever be. Given of a loving heart that always does see its way clear, dear. That's why we have allowed what we've allowed to go on here. Because we saw through it. We saw our way through it. We saw that we could do this. That we could take on this heavy burden and make a gigantic blessing out of it. And now that loving awareness that we receive from that gigantic crystalline recorder player thing, spreads its love out from there. And everyone, even those that couldn't hear the song, couldn't hear the tone or the resonation, couldn't walk along, start to sing that song now. And it's very clear what we've been up to, dear. We've been bringing ourselves back to life through all of it. By going through death after death after death after death, and birth, 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 birth. Oh, wow, baby. And how, babies. You see what heroes we are? What champions of the heart we could be? When this thing strikes you, move naturally. Go with the flow. Let it take you where you want to go. Babies, there'll be peace and plenty, and then some. Because once we really understand what we've been up to, man, then it's clear to everyone else, dear. It's a cosmic explosion of aware love. Spring Creek, the original moment, where all things are known and all things are lived. Revealed here day after day, Monday through Friday, but especially here on a Free Day Friday. Only and exclusively on the Everclear Hazy Radio Network, dear. Rockin' the little network you ever found since Grandpa and little Obi-Wan Kenobi been coming around, huh? Well, of course, with the loving assistance of our grandmother, Sweet Mary Jane.